For the last decade, Puerto Rico's population has been shrinking. And Hurricane Maria has turned the exodus into an even bigger problem for the island. Beyond the human loss of life and destruction of property, Maria is changing the population of Puerto Rico and communities across the country. It's not particularly easy to determine how many people left the island due to Maria. In the months after Hurricane Maria, hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans fled for lack of jobs, housing, and healthcare. A year later, many are moving back to the island, but estimates show anywhere from 30 to 50,000 Puerto Ricans are staying put. There's a variety of different ways to try and measure how many people left Puerto Rico after the hurricane, like net airline passengers, school enrollment, FEMA applications, and address changes. But as researchers have said, there's no definitive count. One thing we do know is that migration from Puerto Rico to the U.S. mainland was growing long before Maria hit. In 2006, Congress ended a corporate tax break that sent the island plummeting into a fiscal mess. The global recession didn't help, and 12 years later, the island still hasn't been able to crawl its way back out. Hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans have permanently left the island since 2005. For years, there have been reports of a brain drain out of the island, with highly educated and skilled workers moving north. And economists' forecasts for Puerto Rico's population over the next 30 years are dwindling.
I'd say out of the people that is moving, it's because they wanted to move, but they didn't want to leave their island and their people. So I'd say definitely that the hurricane was like the push for everyone to say, okay, this is the moment, this is the time.
John Rodriguez lived in Puerto Rico his entire life until Maria hit.
I've been thinking about this, but I didn't have the strength to do it. But right now that I'm in the middle of nowhere, is when you have to take big steps in your life. All of my family were in the south, so I had to go to my town place and then pass the weekend with them, just to help them and not to be like hurt all over the island, because we didn't know how hard it was it going to be. We didn't take it seriously, and we weren't prepared. That's the truth. It was very scary.
After the hurricane, John's jobs as a server and retail worker were put on hold, and he went months without work. So he had to move.
It was a pretty huge deal for me. I was thinking, should I do it? Should I not? I love my place. I love my island, the weather. My family is here. I have already my friends over here. I have to move to another place that I don't talk English. But sometimes you have to take decisions like this one to have experiences and learn from other places.
For years, most of the migration has been into Florida and urban centers like New York City. But John traveled even further, Seattle. According to data analyzed by CNN, Puerto Rican migrants appear to have moved to every U.S. state after Maria. My mom is a kindergarten teacher in Iowa, and last year, her school got a new student that came from Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria.
After the hurricane, everything down in Puerto Rico started getting really bad. We had 2 small girls at the time. There were no hospitals, education. Who knew when school would be back open, so just overall lifestyle up here is much, much better for our 2 daughters, for ourselves.
The future of Puerto Rico may be even more uncertain with a president who doesn't seem to make Puerto Rico a priority. From President Trump throwing paper towels into a crowd to his false denials of the damage caused by the storm, Puerto Ricans are taking notice.
The truth is that makes us feel like.
Nearly a year after Hurricane Maria, the president called the response in Puerto Rico, quote,
an incredible unsung success.
Puerto Ricans are able to vote in primary elections while living on the island, but not the actual presidential elections. But if they move to the U.S. mainland, they're able to register to vote in all U.S. elections. And as more people leave the island for the States, the shifting Puerto Rican population has the potential to make a significant impact on U.S. elections.
It's never been like something that I very much cared about since I didn't have the option to vote. Obviously, moving here now, I could eventually, vote for a president.
Anthony Velasquez also lived in Puerto Rico his entire life until he moved to Brooklyn, New York after the storm. Now, Anthony works a variety of freelance gigs in New York City in makeup, styling, photography, and as a drag queen.
So I just felt I had kind of plateaued and there was nothing more for me to do career-wise or artistic-wise. So I took the leap, it was the final push.
I do miss the place, but because of the economics and political stuff, I'd say I don't see myself going back right now.
In terms of moving back down there, we'll go visit, we have family, friends down there. I really don't see us going back down there to live.
I don't think it's always even a choice at this point. It's we really can't live here.